What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. So I'm about ready to fire this thing up for the first time since the crash, and I'll show you what we did here. I don't know if you can see this, but I've got carbon rods all the way down the side. I've also got them down there too. I've got them all the way down. I do have to put some glue down there and secure those carbon rods in, but these top carbon rods are in like flint, good to go. So I'm getting ready to plug it in for the first time, and I thought, well, maybe I should put that on the channel. So I've got this battery way forward from where they said. I want you guys to see this, okay? They suggested that I had this battery about here, where the strap is. That's where they wanted the tip of the battery. So, and the CG point for this plane is right here, where this first tin is. They say it's back further, but it's up here. It's definitely like right here. I didn't mark it on the upside, but on the bottom side. And then I also, I've been leveling my plane upside down lately. It's just a damn shame, man. So you guys just sit there, chill, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so there it is, all back together, carbon fibered up, probably stronger now than it ever will be. Of course, that's if we can keep it off the ground and not smash it on a takeoff again. So as you can see, I'm running a 5000, but there's no reason why this 5000 shouldn't work, because I run this same 5000 in my version 2 F-16 Freewing, and it flies awesome with that 5000 in it. So there's no reason why this plane can't fly good with a 5000 in it as well. Planes aren't supposed to be like really super light. They're supposed to have some weight characteristic to them. I mean, that's what actually makes them fly well, is the fact that they have that weight and that momentum gets thrown around, and you know. So yes, light airframe, but it should have some weight to it, especially for balancing situations like this. But yeah guys, little system check for you guys. I noticed that one of my elevators was a little slightly crooked, not enough to make it do what it did yesterday. Absolutely not. Everything's working perfect though. Elevator, ailerons, everything's going the right way too. Throttle. And then obviously rudder, left rudder, right rudder, steerable nose wheel. So that's that, guys. I mean, I don't know what to say. I think that was just a freak accident yesterday. This time when I take off, I'm not going to use flaps. I'm just going to take it off. I'm going to get up a lot of speed this time, and I'm just going to take off the way I normally do. With no flaps. Something was telling me that the flaps aren't even on this plane, and I think that might be a servo problem actually, because they're not actually lining up just right. If I have to, I will attach this to my Tyrannus. That way I can go in there manually and get the things each. You know, I can plug in each flap to two different servo ports in the receiver, and I can manually adjust them to go exactly where they're supposed to go when they're supposed to go. But I'm gonna flip these flaps down and let you guys see just for yourself. I mean, I think that the right one is down a little further than the left one, and I think that might have been what caused me to spiral over yesterday, and there's really nothing I can do about that. I adjusted it. But when you adjust it, then this one's higher. I don't know. So the only way to correct that is to put it into a channel, each flap into a channel port all by themselves, and then manually go in and put it exactly where it's supposed to be. When you flip the switch, they're both right in the same spot like they're supposed to be. When you flip it up, they're both even with the ailerons and Well, they're not supposed to be even with the ailerons. That's a misconception. You don't want to even up your flap with your aileron edge. You want to do it to your plane edge. Okay, that's a misconception that people think is right. Your ailerons, those are not a marking point for your flaps. It's always the inside on the plane. It's always here. Don't ever measure your flaps from your ailerons, because your ailerons could be off a little bit, and then your flaps are going to be off. So always go from the inner edge slat of the wing section, the wing root, and measure from there. Make sure that your flaps are even here. If they're not even out here, that's okay. As long as they're even with this, then you know that your flaps are even with the body of the plane, and that's what it's supposed to be even with. But that's it, guys. So she's ready to go back up again. I'm really hoping that we got everything right. Hannah, will you come in here for a minute and film me real quick so I can show these guys how I have the CG on this thing? I know I don't have a shirt on, but I just got home from football and I just want to show you guys this. So what I do is I take this bad boy, right, and I rest it on my head like that. And then I go to my CG points, which are here and here. There, and right there. Come on now, guys. If that's not freaking... It's a little nose heavy, actually. And that's the way I want it. Those are the exact marks. Those are actually a little ahead of where there were, and it made it tail heavy. So I moved them up a little bit, moved the battery up, moved my marks just a tiny little bit, and look at that. Dude, that's flawless. That is a flawless, that's a little tad bit nose heavy, just like I want it. Absolutely beautiful. That is completely CG'd correctly. So, big thank you to Hannah. Thank you, Hannah. Appreciate that. Love you, baby. All right, so yeah, guys, that's it. And then put the canopy on. That's going to add a little bit, tad bit more weight up to the front of the nose. I want to see this thing hawking across the sky, man. I just want to see this thing just ripping it across the sky like the F-16 does. That F-16, man, that thing from the get-go, it was just absolutely perfect. And I thought that this one was going to fly so much like that F-16. And it almost, when it was taking off, kind of felt like the F-16 a little bit, but more like the F-14, to be honest with you. That kind of more or less felt like the F-14. I think it has to do with those horizontal flying stabilizers. So, yeah, guys, that's it. That's all. Hope you had a ball. I'm Dave. This is Dave's RC. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Skip, love you, man. Peace.